So let's address the elephant in the room. It has been forever since there was an upload to this channel. I think the last video that I put up myself was on my birthday in 2020. We were about 3 months into what would now become what feels like 26-year-long pandemic. Regardless of your beliefs on either side, I think that we are all in agreement, hopefully, that I'm over it. But one of the things that happened was the YouTube channel here with a lot of content really just kind of fell to the wayside. Life got in the way. And by in the way, I mean just things just kept happening. In, let's see, 2020, right after that last video happened, Jen and I officially announced that we were having a son. I now have a son. He's 14 months old. He is amazing. He is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Jen and I purchased a house. Jen and I got engaged. I reopened my Hawaiian shirt store under the name Twin Palms Aloha Shop. AJ and Stan and myself, we finally did our Comic-Con in New Jersey. We had Jim Shooter, John Beatty, Larry Hama, Ron Rudat, Mark Morales, and a slew of others show up for a one-day event in New Jersey. Almost 2,000 people showed up. While I was at the Comic-Con, I ran into so many people that were either through the original Legion group for Comic Trips, my old YouTube channel, or people that just watched the show that I hadn't talked to or seen in forever. It just really kind of invigorated my passion for doing this. And, you know, I think we talked about it in my video that I did before. I never stopped collecting, really, and there was a period of downtime that I had. I was just in a bad place, but overall, I really never stopped collecting. I have amassed so much stuff in the time that I have not been on YouTube, just continually letting everything sprawl over into my storage unit, my home, my office here, where I run my web design and marketing agency. It's all just spilled over everywhere. I decided it was time to just pop back in. And I wanted to pop back in with an unboxing and a review of a new product that I purchased online. I figured just why not just hop back into it? Why not have another episode of Plastic Crack? If you remember my previous collecting exploits, my favorite toy era is from, like, you know, the original Ghostbusters line up until the end of the Toy Biz line. But my all-time favorite toy line is the WWF Hasbro toys that were made between 1990 and 1994.
You got a lot of new WWF figures.
Hulk Hogan, a Macho King Randy Savage, the Ultimate Warrior, and Andre the Giant.
So close to the real thing, it's like being in the ring.
There was in the area of about 90 figures, you know, mixing in variants and mail-aways and things like that. They have always been like my penultimate. I love Toy Biz X-Men, I love Toy Biz Marvel, DC superheroes and all that stuff. And you know me, if you're familiar with everything that I used to say before, is that I am a preservationist. I like to keep things as nice a condition as absolutely possible. So in my efforts to preserve my collection a little bit more than I probably should, maybe not, we'll see, I went and I did a thing, and I apparently have a habit of getting boxes that are way too big. I did not think this through. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so this box comes from Tom Trotta. Tom Trotta is known on Instagram as Denim Dude Vintage. I have a short list of human beings that I purchase wrestling figures and accoutrements from on Instagram. Less than 10 people, I would say, that I trust to buy old vintage wrestling stuff from that golden era that I love, the early to mid 80s up until the mid 90s of WWF, WWE figures. What we have here is an acrylic case for WWF Hasbro figures. Here's the thing. These cards on these toys are known for being habitually easy to bend, easy to ruin. The bubbles can crack. As the toys get older, they're just getting more brittle. The weight of the figures will pull the bubbles off the card, especially if you have an Andre the Giant or a Yokozuna figure or something like that. But I want to, oh my gosh, these things are incredible. In speaking with Tom, Denim Dude Vintage, I learned that his supplier for these action figure cases, these acrylic cases, is the same supplier for some of the major grading companies around the US. I personally have graded figures from UKG. They're mostly over in Europe and down in Australia. And then I have CAS and I have AFA cases. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to bring out a few of these and figure out how they work, put a couple of my figures that I brought along with me in, and see how they stand up to the actual sealed graded cases. These cases were about, I want to say $22 a piece, if I recall correctly from the transaction. Whereas if you were to purchase these cases from, I believe the company is CGA, who sells something similar, they're like $30 a case. The risk versus reward here, I feel like, is a good balance. I've dealt with Tom before on Instagram. He has an eBay page, but I like dealing with him on Instagram. I'll leave both of his links in the description below. I would always rather deal with someone directly, especially if they're trustworthy, because if you sell on eBay, you know that the fees are getting out of control, right? I have a Series 2 $1 Million Man from 1990. I think Series 1 and Series 2 came out in the same year, if not more. I have a Series 9 Hacksaw Jim Duggan with the purple card in a Defender case. If you take a look, we've got a couple different types of cases here, and we're going to talk about that. Like the main problem. So that's a big problem, is that not only am I for preservationist, I am for display. It's funny that I say that because I don't have a proper display room. I'm still working on the Fortress of Politude. Hopefully by this summer it will be ready, and I mean that. The problem that I have with a lot of these is, if you take a look at this case, look at this. Look, it doesn't even hold the, it doesn't keep the card straight. That drives me insane. And now you have a case like this, right, that will keep the card straight. This is a Defender case. I got these types of cases from Mark Bushy on Instagram when I bought some figures from him. These are great cases. The problem is they don't stand up. I need them to do both. Yeah, maybe I'm a little too picky. Don't care. I've been collecting this stuff for 30 years. I don't care. I can be picky now. I'm going to be 40 in like a year and a half. Oh my God. I know what I want out of life, and I know what I want my pieces to look like. So what we're going to do is we're going to box up a couple of these. I bought, I want to say 10 or 11 of them, and I can already tell that I'm going to need some more by how many I'm thinking I have in storage. This isn't even what I have in storage. My storage locker is bursting at the seams. Let's go ahead and box up the $1 Million Man Series 2 from 1990 and get him out of that ridiculous case. Bottom slides out here, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this from the top. Place this figure so that way the side seams fit all the way in, and then the top tab latches in there, and then the bottom slides right in. And there we have, oh my God, that's so satisfying, an archival grade $1 Million Man Series 2 Hasbro. Let's do another one, because now I've got the bug. These are packaged very, very well, I must say. There is foam on the top. There is foam all over in the sides, and each one is individually bubble wrapped. Boy, oh boy. Just makes me feel like I'm getting a graded figure. Do not sniff directly into that case. Okay. Sliding in the Series 9 Hacksaw. Sliding over. Bottom. I believe that I love these. Yep, I love them. I love them. That's all the convincing I needed, although I probably will do a couple more. Look at these. Look at these archival grade cases. Now I've got about 7 or 8 more to do, but I'm not going to bore you with doing every single one on camera. Maybe someday in the future I will do a full run of what I have with the WWF Hasbro line. I want to just kind of compare with actual graded figures. So I've got a bit of a little fun surprise here. I brought along 3 of my graded figures, 1 figure from each of the major grading companies that are out there: UKG, CAS, and AFA. If there are others out there that grade those figures, sorry, not familiar with you, but feel free to send me some info and some free I have here, this one is my Series 4 Bret the Hitman Hart from 1992. This one is graded an 85, which is considered a near mint plus, from AFA. AFA was always kind of the gold standard of toy grading. They're like the CGC of toy graders, right? The most well-known, usually fetch the best dollar. I don't really collect these to fetch the best dollar. I fetch these because I'm a collector and I need to have everything. Let's go ahead and let's take a look. You gotta be kidding me. That's my office phone. Nobody ever calls my office phone. Hold on. What the do you want? Oh, some pop? Cool. Whatever. I can't believe it. I haven't had a phone call on my office line in like 3 weeks. And now all of a sudden somebody calls and it's a spam number and they're not a real person. Anyway, so let's go ahead and let's compare the graded figure to the Rude. Okay. Again, let's try this again. So, we are going to compare the AFA graded figure to the Denim Dude Vintage action figure case. From what I can see, the thickness of the plastic, it's the same. It's absolutely the same. Obviously, the height is a bit different. Looks like it gives a little bit more room for the bubble. Now, let's bring out another one. That is my, boy, that thing, crack. This is my Series 3, Mr. Perfect, graded by CAS at an 80 plus. Put that right next to it, okay? And again, you can see that we have roughly the same dimensions as the Denim Dude Vintage case, AFA, CAS. I can't really tell any difference in thickness of the actual acrylic, and the holster system among the three appears to be the same, which is great. Okay, cool, so we got equality. Now, one last figure from UKG. This is graded at a 90, my Series 11 Atom Bomb. This is the very final series in this line. These figures are so stupidly expensive now. The 123 kit is going for a couple grand. I don't know what's going on in the world of collecting right now, but prices are insane. I don't know what that means. All I know is that I'm glad to have what I have, and I'm really not buying many of these right now. We have the UKG case, the CAS case, the AFA case, and the Denim Dude Vintage case. This one is just taller, okay? It's taller, it gives a little more space up at the top. Everything else, for the most part, is almost, it's almost exactly the same. The graded cases have a small curvature on the front, whereas the Denim Dude Vintage case has a small curvature on the side opposite of where the slide comes in and out. To me, what I see is, I see a better way to display my figures, so that way I'm not worrying about cases falling over, I'm not worrying about anything breaking. Okay, so I forgot that I ordered one case for tag teams, because I had one loose tag team that I wanted to try and put in. Spanish card, or sort of Spanish card, of the Legion of Doom. Completely forgot that I ordered one, so pardon my confusion there for a moment. Been a long year. You're gonna want to be careful if you have a significantly bended card with these, because as you can see, it is bent just enough, oh my God, to not fit under that lip there. You're gonna need to finagle it just a little bit. Finagle. Okay. Nice. Alrighty. So we have a nicely done tag team case. Ooh, gosh. That is good stuff. So, I'm not gonna go ahead and unbox every single item for you, just because, you know, I could sit here all day and do this and not get any actual work done. I love them. I think they're a great value. They are available for $22, I believe, a piece. I cannot remember how much the tag teams are. I apologize at this moment. And I know that he also does have these cases for the LJN figures. I only own one LJN figure. It is the run-of-the-mill Hulk Hogan with the yellow trunks. Tom, message me on Instagram, remind me I need to purchase an LJN one from you, because I want to get that thing into a protective case. As someone who is a preservationist, I think that these are great. I am perfectly okay with the negligible difference on the height in the cases here, simply because the quality and the other dimensions are perfect as well. I cannot recommend these enough. I'm gonna spend the next probably hour or two boxing some more of these up into these amazing cases, such as this one, my Bam Bam Bigelow that I got from Jeff Noyes at Noyes Toys. See, again, look at that, flopping around in there. How can you self-respectively make a case that has a tab on the bottom and on the top that's never going to stand up straight, and it doesn't even hold the card in? Oh my God, infuriating. There should be a collectibles protective case board where you have to apply for a type of design before it gets approved and you're allowed to sell this. If you've tuned in this long, I can't thank you enough. I know it's been a long time, and I know to a degree I let some of you down. I'm going to do my best to get back on here fairly regularly. I want to get out to doing shops again, on the hunt and stuff like that. But again, remember, we've been in this pandemic now for what feels like half a decade. The opportunity to get out and go to stores and places like that anymore has been difficult with family life, with work life. Work is very busy. That's a good thing. Family life is very busy. Also, it's a good thing. I promise you that this is the start of something semi more regularly. I'm not burgundy. I don't know. I'm going to try. Don't hold my feet to the fire. I'm going to do my best here. But if you like this, please let me know down below what else you would like to see me talk about. I have countless items in my collection that have been sitting in storage since I purchased them 4 or 5 years ago, from Hastel Toy, from Zombie Sailor, from other people that I just like. I just buy them and I just put them away because there's no reason to open them, ruin the perfect shipping box that all these guys do, and then have nowhere to put them. So I just leave them as they were shipped to me. So maybe that'll be something. Maybe I could do my recent comic pickups, even though I don't have a pull list anywhere. I do have kind of a new comic book addiction that I've been going through over the past couple months. Do you give a shit anymore about what I have to say on the internet? If you don't, it's perfectly okay. It's been forever, and I don't blame you one bit. I'm here. Hopefully I'll be here more regularly. I appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you next time.